What's going on, guys? Klutch here with big news on the Seasons front. The Seasons mod for Farming Simulator 19. A huge update has been posted in regards to what is coming to Seasons 19. If you guys have played Seasons on FS17 or FS15, you know exactly kind of what to expect. If this is your first time, well, what Seasons will allow you to do, it'll allow you to work your farm like in real life. You'll have a full year of seasons that will pass through. You'll want to plant your crops in the spring, you'll want to harvest them in the fall, and then you want to maintain your animals in the winter. There'll be a whole different element of the series that you'll need to take care of. So that is what Seasons is. In a nutshell, it does completely change the way Farming Simulator 19 works, and there's a ton of updates that have been released today, so let's dive into this. So there is a ton to go over on this update from Realism Modding. Let's see if we can get through as much of this as we possibly can. First of all, growth. Growth will change every year. You'll have to watch out for frost, droughts, plan ahead a little bit. Bad weather may destroy your crops. Fantastic. This is going to be the heart of Seasons. Just keeping an eye on the weather and understanding when is the best time to plant, when's the best time to harvest. So growth is going to be obviously the biggest thing. Now there's also another huge update, at least in my mind. Improved weeds. Fantastic. So no longer will an entire field all of a sudden have weeds. The weed behavior will be changing now, and they will slowly grow in patches across the field instead of having the whole field all of a sudden have weeds. So weeds will grow in their small patches. Once it gets warm, they will begin to mature. If it does get too cold, they will die off just like your crops. Very cool. I love updates to the weeding system because it needed desperately. And of course, we'll have weather influence growth. All this will mean, of course, is you'll need to take into account the temperature of your soil before planting your fields. In FS17, if you tried to plant prior to the growth season, your whole field would simply not germinate and you would lose that entire crop. In FS19, there is potential that you will only lose portions. So the entire field is not the same temperature. So you'll want to make sure you double check your crops and make sure your fields to make sure that it is the correct temperature in order to plant, in order for those new crops to germinate. Otherwise, you may lose portions or the whole thing. So that is very cool. Crops will have 3 resistance ratings depending on their maturity state. A new page has been added into Seasons to show the resistance rating of each maturity state per plant. So that's all different between the different crops that you have. So just be aware that that is going to be a new thing. Weather influence growth for FS19. Crop rotation is also now a thing. So in order to get the most benefit out of your crops, you'll want to rotate certain crops at least. It'll give you a stacking effect of 120% potentially. To get increased yields, reducing the need to fertilize. It depends on the crop, however. There are some that are more suitable to grow several years in succession, while others do require more crop rotations. To help this along, we'll be getting a rotation planner. This tool will help us change and rotate our crops to figure out which will give us the most advantageous solutions. Of course, weather is a big thing of Seasons, so we'll see some new skyboxes, new cloud systems, wind speed and direction is also now modeled. And grass dries differently depending on how the wind is set up, it looks like. That is very cool. Wind turbines will also be very dependent on wind speed. Snow and the snow mask is once again back as well. You can expect snow to be covering your maps in winter as well. Bale rotting is also an issue we'll need to take into consideration. Animals will also be completely reworked for FS19. Age, weight, and gender of animals are now completely simulated. Also, cattle no longer produce both manure and slurry. You will have to choose which one depending on whether you give them straw or not. This is also more realistic. Animal health has also been added in. You can no longer keep animals in a trailer overnight. That will kill them, as well as lack of food, water, or movement may kill your animals. Keep that into account. Chickens have also been updated. You will now need a rooster in order for you to get more chickens. A rooster is now required, which only makes sense. As well, since we're talking cattle, there are now breeds with Seasons. This must be similar to the mod that is currently available for FS19. However, just be aware you'll have different breeds, so you can choose whether you were looking for a breed of cattle that gives you extra cows, or if you're looking one for that will give you more milk. So that'll be dependent on which breed you decide to go with. There's a whole video I've got on that particular mod. It sounds like that's going to be very similar to what's implemented in FS19. Also, we'll be getting a rework of the horse system. Now we can have a livery stable, so we're essentially taking care of other people's horses. They need to be fed, cleaned, ridden every day for a certain amount of income that is brought in from the actual owner. However, this does come at a bit of a risk. If the horse does die or becomes unhealthy, there's a huge repayment option we may have to give the owner. So just be aware, that is kind of an interesting way to look at horses, a new way of making income from horses. And grazing is also now a thing in FS 19 Seasons 19. Animals will be able to graze in crops that they are in. It depends on the size of the pen, the amount of animals, the time of year, all that stuff. However, they will be able to graze during the summer months, so you may not have to feed them as much or at all, which is fantastic. That is such a cool idea. Grass handling, of course, will also need to be considered in Seasons 19. Grass left out in the field will begin to rot. However, dry grass will not need to be tedded potentially as well. It will become hay. There's a whole system that's going to be involved here. It has changed slightly from Seasons in 17, so make sure you read through the link on that. As well, the audio and visuals of Seasons 19 has completely been reworked. Some interesting changes have been done here. Hey, most notably actually, is the system now allows for quieter birds in winter. I know a few people that might be happy about that. And of course, the big question, when is this being released? Well, we have a date, July 24th, 2019 for PC and Mac. No release date yet set for consoles. It does have to go through Giants, of course, the whole Q&A process, and be bug-free. However, PC and Mac will be getting this July 24th. What? Yes! Less than a month away. 2 weeks? What is that, about 2 weeks away? We will be seeing Seasons on PC and Mac. Absolutely cannot wait, guys. Fantastic update here. I hope you guys did enjoy this. If you have any questions, drop it in the link below or in the comments below. I make sure, like I said, to put the link of the whole update so you guys can read through it yourself, go into great detail on it. But we'd love to hear from you in the comments. What do you guys think is going to be coolest about Seasons? Are you planning on using it? Come on, I think you are. Let's be honest here. But yeah, make sure you leave me a comment. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. And we'll see you guys next time. This is Klutch. Over and out.